afternoon. My name is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You may also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications and Abundant Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And make sure you check out the newscasters.com for our new upcoming podcast. Be tickled to death to talk to you there. If you want to hear the truth, not watered down news, you want to go ahead and get started on this podcast. It'll be happening right around the 1st of November, so we're really pleased and tickled to be able to be part of their newscast podcast. Let's talk about, this is sales, okay? Everybody's looking for a way to earn extra income. Man, inflation's up, groceries up, utilities are up, and if you own a home, in some cases, the interest rates are going up. And so, man, we've got to save every penny we possibly can. So let's go ahead and get started on how to do that. I love this website, salehoo.com, and it's SALEHOO.com. So make sure you check that out. So let's talk about how you can start selling online. Okay, how can we start selling online? So we've broken down the process into 6 simple steps that take you from complete beginner to professional. Let's just go ahead and get started on that. So, what do you need to know before you begin? Before you get started investing time and money into an online business, you want to make sure that selling online is the right thing for you. I've been selling online for over 2 decades, and I like it. I really don't want a retail store. Because I love what I'm doing on the farm. I love what I'm doing with the show. And so I'm having a blast with that. But I still like to make stuff. And, some of the shows are about, making whatever. And so I get to sell those things online. I don't have to worry about retail. I don't have to worry about keeping somebody at a store. None of that stuff. I don't have to worry about theft. I've had a retail store before, and I'm going to tell you what, one of the biggest concerns is people walking away with your products. So let's go ahead and start talking about the pros of selling online, and then we'll dig a little bit deeper. So while you're working from home in your pajamas, it's definitely a plus. There are plenty of other amazing reasons to work from home. First of all, you can work from home, make your own hours, choose how far you want to take it. The possibilities are absolutely endless. So you want to make a few bucks, or you want to save some money, you want to create an online e-commerce empire, you can do that. The choice is up to you. No glass ceiling, that means no boss that you got to please. It also means pure freedom, and I like it. You just come up with an idea, and we'll dig more into that. Now, another pro of selling online is it's something you're probably already familiar with. If you've ever bought or sold anything online, you basically understand how it works, which ultimately makes selling online an easier skill to grasp than many other home business options. Now, you can also follow your own interest. Are you passionate about fly catching, maybe cake decorating, refurbishing antique dolls? Do you do anything like that? When you start selling online, you can turn your hobbies and passions into a profitable business. But we need to find out how to dig in and how to do it. Another pro is it's not as difficult or risky as starting a traditional business. You don't have to invest a lot of money when you're first getting started. You also don't have to worry about buying or leasing personal property or physical property. It's not a brick and mortar. It's very low barrier to entry, which means practically anyone can give it a go. So what's stopping you? Go ahead and try it. Also, one of the pros is you don't have to worry about storing inventory if you don't want to. It's called drop shipping, and we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. Now, it's fun. We know it is. By the end of this guide, I'm pretty sure you're going to think that it's fun too. Now, let's talk about the cons, because you're going to have some great things. There's some also obstacles that you're going to have to go through. Like anything in life, it comes with a few downsides. Now, one of the cons is it does take time. It may take you a month or 2 before you start seeing any consistent results. And then you may be ready to throw up the towel. And just as you're ready to throw in the towel, you start selling stuff. Now, it's important you're aware of all this, okay? So the chances of accumulating over $100 worth of sales on your first day is very unlikely. Probably not going to happen. There's a learning curve. So if you've sold a few things online before, you're already one step ahead of your competitors. However, you need to step up your game to sell online professionally. I've been doing it for 2 decades. I'm just going to say I love it. I sell on eBay. I also have my own webpage and also on Facebook as well. Okay, now this is one of the cons. First of all, you wear all the hats, okay? There's no divvying out to anybody else. As a business owner, you're an incredible team of one. At least you're starting out that way. You'll take the roles of accountant. You got to keep up with the monies now. Marketer, web designer, as well as everything else. This also means that you shoulder all the responsibility. If something goes wrong, can't blame anybody but you, okay? That's the way it goes. I'm just going to say, if you will begin and continue the process with outstanding customer service, you got it lit. That's the easiest thing. You don't have to worry about having all the answers, none of that stuff. If you feel in your gut the product is not the right thing to sell, or maybe you got a faulty product, don't put it online, okay? Because it's going to come back and haunt you much more than if you just went in ahead and did it right the first time. Now, it's another con. It's not all passive income. You'll hopefully be dealing with regular sales. You want to build up that customer base. Regular shipments and regular customer questions, which means your business will require you to do some real work and invest some time and effort. It's not just about I throw it online and I mail it. There's more to it than that. If you can afford to hire staff, that's fine. But you're going to have to be the person to do everything to begin with. Now, if you get to the point, I just don't want to hire staff. Nobody's going to take care of it like I do. But if you decide you want to do that and just have it, let somebody else run it, you can do that as well. Just make sure you got the right person in charge. And again, customer service is number one. I know it's not the style anymore, but it's still number one. Okay, and also this is not a get rich quick scheme. Okay, you're not going to be getting rich. It could be a year before you really start seeing some good money coming in. If you're happy to spend a little time building a reputation, developing your brand, and optimizing your processes, the sky's the limit. Okay, now let's talk about choosing an e-commerce business model. There are lots of business models to consider before you start online, each with its own set of pros and cons. Okay, let's talk about one of those, and that's called drop shipping. Okay, we talked about that just a few seconds ago. Okay, drop shipping is the darling of the commerce world. Why? Because the barrier to entry is so low. You don't need to make any financial investment to get started. Meanwhile, you won't pay a cent until you make a sale. But this is one thing I don't like about it. I like having my own stuff here that I can ship it out. Somebody buys something, the minute they pay for it, I start getting that shipping label, and if the mail hasn't run, it's going to get shipped that day. It's extremely important. That's why sometimes when you order something online, even going through Walmart, it's that way. Sometimes ordering stuff online, it's almost a month before you get it. It's because this person is drop shipping. So let's dig a little bit more about what that is. Okay, so that means you don't need to place any big orders. That's what it's all about, to store excess stock. You just need to decide what you want to sell, find yourself a supplier that provides drop shipping services, list your products on your preferred online marketplace, and start selling it. Basically, your supplier does most of the heavy lifting, so your main job is just to make sales. That's all you got to do. Okay, so here's how it works. A customer purchases a product from your online store at retail prices. You place an order for that product with your supplier, whoever the wholesale price person is. Your supplier packages and ships the product directly to your customer. The only thing, again, I don't like about this is they're not going to get in the big hurry that you are. Remember, they're going to be a drop shipper for thousands of other people at the same time. Okay, so your stuff's going to get shipped later. Now, sourcing from wholesalers. Sourcing products from wholesalers is more traditional retail business model. It's used by brick and mortar stores and e-commerce stores alike. So once you've decided on what products you're going to sell, you'll find a reliable wholesaler and buy the products in bulk. Getting the best price usually requires some negotiation. You got to be a good negotiator now. Buying in bulk requires that you have significant cash to spend up front. Okay? Now, the upside is that you'll usually get your products at a cheaper price than you would with drop shipping. And here again, we're talking about sourcing with wholesalers. This means higher profit margins for you every time you make a sale. Now, if you do the drop shipping, you're going to be much less of a profit. But you don't have to stock a bunch of stuff. You're going to have to wonder if it's going to sell or not. So there's pluses and minuses either way. Okay, now, buying in bulk, again, that does require that you have significant cash to spend up front. The upside is that you'll usually get your products at a cheaper price, higher profit margin. Now, once you've ordered the products, it's up to you to arrange storage and to list them on sale online and to organize the shipping. You can also use a third-party fulfillment service like Amazon FBA or ShipBob. There's a lot of shipments and a lot of options to choose from, and they can handle the packaging and shipping for you. However, this does come at added cost, and it will eat up your profit margins. I do my own shipping. Also, I like to use go to USPS, the United States Postal Service, and you can order free boxes, and they'll send those to you as well. If you wanted to do like all you can stuff into a small box, the shipping's a lot lower. And you can also get some medium-sized boxes, and then you can also get some of the large boxes if you sell something like really big online. I save boxes and so they don't take up a whole lot of room when I order stuff online. But now what I do is I take the tape off the top and the bottom of that box, and then I fold it up, because before you know it, you are overrun with boxes everywhere. So that's just how I do it. It's a good way to manage space, because you got to think about inventory, within your area. Okay, let's see. You store them, blah blah blah. Okay. Now you can see how sourcing from wholesalers can be more labor intensive than drop shipping, but the financial benefits can make the extra work absolutely worth it. I mean, it could be a difference between making $10 on a $100 sale and making $50 on a $100 sale. Okay, now let's go to a commercial break, and we're going to talk about sourcing from manufacturers, and we'll be right back in just a minute. The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park, and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors, and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer
yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
The only place I buy my beef is Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama. Their cattle is born and raised on their ranch, grass and grain fed, and you can feel confident when you serve your family and friends because their beef is all natural and no antibiotics or hormones are added. You can buy whole beef or perhaps go in with family or friends and buy half. Their customer service is number one as they take care of the delivery to their local processor and can deliver to your home for a small added fee. They also offer herd replacement heifers. I always call Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama for my beef specialty recipes and cookouts, and you can too. Food shortages are increasing, so buy local by calling 256-523-6462. That's 256-523-6462.
Donna's Designs offers a line of handmade memorial, wedding, and keepsake jewelry that launched back in 1970. I'm a self-trained jewelry designer, and I will work closely with you to create unique designs you can love and treasure for years to come. Whether that be flowers that were used in a funeral arrangement or stones you found on the beach at a memorable trip, call me at 256-659-4319 and let's think of the possibilities.
At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. Okay, we're back. My name is Donna, and I am your host of The Edge on IC Radio. We are your source for news and entertainment. I'm helping you save some money. I'm also going to help you earn some money, okay? So make sure you listen to every single thing we're talking about on this particular segment, especially, okay? Now let's talk about, we were talking about the different sources, okay? So you can be a drop shipper. That's where somebody else does everything. They have the product. All you do is sell. Now remember, the profit margin is not going to be as high if you do that. Now, drop shipper also mails it out, so you don't have to worry about any of that stuff either. Sourcing from wholesalers is a good way to do it. Your profit margin is going to be higher. You'll need to ship it out. Okay, I like this role model better than the drop shipper because, first of all, I want my stuff sent out really fast. I've been selling stuff on eBay for, I don't know, 20 years maybe. And what I love about it, and I've got 100% rating from my customers, okay? And I think one big reason why, first of all, I send out really good merchandise. I make most of it, and so I can sell it better that way, but I've got 100% rating. I think the big deal is I don't mess around. When somebody orders something, I go ahead and get that shipping label ready, and out it goes to whoever the customer is. Okay, now sourcing from wholesalers. Now let's go on ahead and talk about sourcing from manufacturers. Now sourcing a product from the manufacturer is a similar process. It's kind of like a wholesaler. Now the main difference is that you can work with the manufacturer to create your own product or private label product. So you can do it that way. The initial investment is higher as you're creating something new, but if you want to build a brand and sell a unique product, then sourcing from a manufacturer is the business model for you. However, there are more hoops to jump, okay? And you got to go think about terms of product development, design, it's got to be tested, packaging, and legal obligations. Okay, but if you're ready to sit in for the long haul and build a business that you really can go for the majority of online sellers, sourcing direct from manufacturers is a good option. Now let's talk about making and selling your own products, which is something I do. So if you're creative, artistic, or you have a unique skill, then by all means make your own products, okay? That's what I do, and sell them online. People like stuff that's handmade, okay? Hand manufactured. Okay, look at it this way. There's even a huge hamburger chain, and they even say handcrafted French fries. Handcrafted. Any kind of French fries is going to be handcrafted. Even if you put it through the machine, it's still handcrafted, right? So that's what they use, and it works because people love handcrafted stuff. Whether you crochet beanies or build wooden chipping boards, or you engineer new technologies for the bedroom, there's bound to be a market for your creations. Think of it as turning your hobby into a business. Okay, you can start selling your own products as a side hustle while you're still working, and then if you're successful, you may be able to turn it into a full-time job. Now, the main thing with selling your own products is that all the responsibilities are on your products. You can only sell as much as you can make, so you have to invest your own time into the production. Now, when I come up with a new idea, I like to try it first. Even if I try out a new glue, I want to try it out first. I want to make sure, because I tried out a new glue. I made this, and this is made, I'm a metal worker, so I made this out of metal. And so I tried a new glue because this is a pen. See down here at the very back, that's what it looks like on the front. It's got that pen right there on the back. So I tried out a new glue. I've done this. I've tried to bend it. I've tried to do all kinds of stuff. I love this glue. It's what I'm going to use from this point on. And it dries really fast. So you need to test your products, okay? Because one little thing goes wrong and you sell stuff on eBay, somebody's going to put a bad review on there. You don't want bad reviews. Okay, so the main benefit is that aside from the cost of materials, you don't have to make a significant investment up front. So you don't have to rely on suppliers. It's all up to you. But being creative is the key, okay? Now, let's go ahead and talk about choosing what to sell. Okay, he looks like he's in some kind of a dilemma. You've probably already thought about this. Okay, so start by thinking about products that can sell online and go from there. So what starts as a daydream at the office often flourishes into a successful business. So be careful what you wish for. Now you can make sure that you can make a profit on it. Make sure that, of course, that's pretty obvious. Don't forget to factor in things like shipping, packaging, and marketplace fees. Okay, now there's a reasonable demand for it. Make sure there's a demand for it. One of the most common mistakes new sellers make is diving into selling a particular product without checking the demand. Don't be that person stuck with a garage full of things you can't sell. This reminds me of an Andy Griffith show where this old dude is about to leave his house and he can't pay for his home, and Andy goes to it, so he's got to foreclose on him because he's the sheriff. So Andy gets there and he says, well, I mean, what are you doing for income? He's making these old beads that used to go on women's hats back in the 1930s and the 1940s. And Andy says, well, there's not much of a demand for that. And so the old dude says, well, there will be. I'm just making them now. Don't be that guy. Make sure it's something that's in high demand. Now, make sure that the competition is not too intense. So competition can really drive down your profits, especially when there's not enough to meet it. When a bunch of sellers are competing for a small pool of buyers, that can get nasty and it can get ugly. It can get into a price war. Okay, now what can you sell online? The answer is everything. Make sure that it's legit. Make sure it's something that you're going to put your reputation, you're going to stake your reputation behind it. Okay, let's talk about number 2, and that is actually finding suppliers. Okay, so once you've decided on a product that you want to sell online, you need to find a reliable supplier for that product. It's a good way to look for suppliers. Sell Who's supplier has a directory. Just go to this website, sellwho.com, and it's SALEHOO.com. Okay, and they have a directory, low-cost suppliers, and all kinds of stuff that you can sell online. Now, you need to find drop ship suppliers. We talked about that. You also need to find wholesale suppliers, and then finding a manufacturer. Okay, if you make it yourself now, and it's something you can do a turnover pretty quick, that's what you can do. Now, if you make something yourself, I'll put a picture, and I put lots of pictures on my site. Okay. I do that for a reason. So somebody can't say, well, you didn't show that little, because if you buy things used, especially if it's something back, like back from the 1930s, 1940s or whatever, if it has a little bit of scratch on it, you need to show that in a picture, okay? So that's important to do. Okay, contacting suppliers. Okay, now this is something you want to think about for a supplier. First of all, if it takes them forever to return your call, don't use them. Don't. You want to look for a supplier who's going to answer that phone, or who's going to return your call within a short period of time. You want to negotiate with suppliers. I'm looking at the time. I just want to make sure that I spend enough time with you. But you need to know how to negotiate with suppliers. There are several books out there on negotiating. I'll have to tell you what you can do. If you'll just go through the book of Proverbs, you'll find all kinds of successful ways to run your business. Phil and I, we study a proverb verse every single day. Okay, you'll be wiser on how you make your decisions. Okay, number 3, setting up that business right there. Okay, so you got all the ingredients together. You need to know how to choose a business name. You need to register your business. You really need to apply for a sales tax ID or a seller's license. I've had my particular license since the mid-80s, I guess. And I know it like I know my social security number. My federal ID number is 742-878-155. I keep that on my business cards. I keep it on everything, okay? When I'm writing a proposal for a potential ad or somebody to buy my product or whatever, that federal ID goes on it. It shows that I'm a legit business. Okay? Also setting up payment options for your store. Now, number 4, you need to think about this, and that's choosing what platforms to sell on. Whether that's going to be eBay, it could be Amazon. They've got Etsy. You can sell on Etsy. Craigslist, a little bit like this about Craigslist. Etsy, I'm not sure it's a safe place. eBid, there's just a number of places you can sell your stuff on. Okay, number 5, and that's going to be about marketing strategies for your online store and how to make that first sale. Okay, look at him. He's got his camera out there. He's got shoes he's going to sell. And congratulations, your store is up and running. How do I make a successful online store? You got to have good quality copy in your listings. Good quality photos. You need a marketing strategy. And you need to ask your customers for reviews. That's number 1. Okay, so how do I become a good seller? Number 1 on everything is provide excellent customer service. When we're living in a world that no one provides excellent customer service, you're going to be way above everybody else, okay? But you got to get your customers to send you reviews. You got to do that. You got to do fast shipping. I'm telling you, as soon as somebody buys something from me, I print that label and it goes out in the mail. If it's over the weekend, it's like I can't wait to get it in the mailbox, okay? Fast shipping is extremely important. Always be improving. Always look for great things to do. And I mean, that's basically it. Customer, if I had to pick out any one thing in life, it's customer service. You got to be heads and shoulders above everyone else. And let me give you a little secret right here. This happens to me all the time. So your competitors are always going to be trying to figure out how you're doing it, and they can't do it. They're going to follow you around. They may even run around and talk bad about you. I've had a few that have done that. All you do, hold your head up, smile, and if you hear somebody say something bad about you, just say, can't help it, I'm praying for that person. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. And that word is going to get around. And people may leave you because they've heard something that a competitor or maybe a crazy relative has said about you. You just keep doing the right thing, and I promise you it's going to come around. You jump over those people. You jump over the troublemakers, step over them, jump over them. What do you got to do? And you just be a success. Let it go. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Donna, and I am your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You may also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, Abundant Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire, and the newscasters.com podcast. Can hardly wait to get that rocking and rolling. You take care.